Morning traders, and this is your DAX day trade setup for today. So looking at the 3 hour, there is total confusion that's been happening the last couple of, this week basically. The started line is the start of the week, that's the end of the week, and all over the place. Look at the awesome oscillator. When the awesome oscillator does this, you will advise to stay out of the market because there is confusion. But whenever the awesome oscillator is running flat along the zero line like this, it just shows you confusion. And then you look at your Williams percentage R, there was a buying opportunity, and now we're back at a selling opportunity. Okay, so on the 3 hour, trend is up at the moment. We are kind of looking up, yeah? But, interest rates yesterday in the US were dropped as expected, but there was no real fireworks in the market. And I think the only thing that moved the market really late last night was the Saudis trying to reassure the world that they will be up and running shortly and then there won't be an oil shortage. That's the only thing that's of any interest at the moment. But let's pull this in the middle here. Look at the closing bar here. Okay, so this is basically the Saudi news. This last bar here, just before the market closed. But if you look at the rest of the day, look at these tails. And remember what I say, whenever you see this kind of pattern, if I refer to it as barbed wire, it looks like barbed wire. And it basically just means confusion. And normally what happens is you've got range bar, range bar, range bar, range bar. Okay, and then you've got pin bars to the bottom, pin bars to the top. So it's just really buyers and sellers not knowing which direction they want to drive it. And the bulls and the bears both sort of playing a tug of war, trying to get the price moving in a direction. I think the bulls are winning at the moment. There is a massive magnet to the upside here of this gap. Okay, and that is not too far away. It's 50 points away. Okay, if I look at what's going on in the market at the moment, the Hang Seng is down 1% right now, and Euro's flat. If I look at the DAX futures, that's down 0.15, call it flat at the moment. The rest of the markets are flat as well. Okay, so I think the jury's still out at the moment. There is a sort of a head and shoulders here. So shoulder, head, shoulder. So that is pretty much something which we can look at. And I would say we can just be conservative, and that is the line in the sand. So we're looking for a break above 12.414. And we'll look at that on a lower time frame because that's going to fine tune it a bit for us. Okay, I'm still of the opinion that we're going to start climbing. We're going to have a Christmas rally. I think, I suppose I must be careful what I think. But yeah, the big players that move this market have driven it down quite enough, and they're going to start buying shortly. So this is kind of what I'm looking at, especially when you see all the negative news that's been pumped into the market, trying to drive this market down, yet the market's still staying buoyant. So I suspect what the next step is going to be a breakout of some sort with a fairly strong rally, and on the DAX it's going to be a continuation of the previous rally. Okay, so head and shoulders pattern at the moment, that's what I'm looking for right now. Your stop level is pretty much, I would take this fractal point here. Okay, so it's a messy head and shoulders. I mean, there's shoulder, here's you could say that's the head, this is the shoulder, or that's the shoulder. But just to be safe, I would take this area, 12,350 as my stop loss, and I'm looking for a break above 12,414 for my long. Okay, what I'm looking for is gap close first, then I would expect a bit of a pullback, and then your second target is going to be the actual head and shoulders target, and I'll give that to you now. So second target is pretty much going to be up there. Let's just go to a higher time frame just to see what is there. Okay, that gives us a new all-time high and takes us right up the top here. Right, yeah, takes us pretty much into this area of congestion, which is exactly what I would expect. And then I'd expect sellers to bounce it off here again. Okay, now, thing to bear in mind is this trend line was fairly strong. I do that. So if you see a move to the upside, it's very possible that it is just to test this break for another deeper pullback. Keep that in mind. Okay. The other scenario that may be playing out, which is probably the one which I think holds most merit, is because the DAX loves doing it, I just need to take that line off, is we're in a big channel. Okay, so this is the bottom of the channel, so I expect another run to the top of the channel. Okay, but anyway, for me, this little rally at the close here is fairly significant. Okay, it's only 50 points or 40 points, but it does indicate, because we started moving down with the interest rate news, and then all of a sudden, it's almost like, oh dear, we can't have the markets falling, we need the markets coming up. Saudis say something, and drive the market back up. Okay, that's kind of what's happening with what the players are doing at the moment. So all we want to do is ride the wave in the direction that they are going. So that is definitely the fractal to the upside. We could also argue that this fractal is gone. So we're looking for a pullback, and we've got to stop below this fractal here. So stop below 12,360. That's actually 12,358, and we're looking for an entry either on a pullback back into the zone here, or sort of test the alligator, and then another long. Okay, but when the alligator stands up like this, that's normally an indication we've got a fairly good trend change. So from this congestion, we've now broken out. Okay, so that's kind of what I'm looking at the moment. Definitely looking for a long. The question is where. It's either a smallish long from here with the stop below here, or wait for the first sort of hour of trading this morning during the pre-market open. See what happens. If we do start pulling back at the open, just wait that first 15 minutes and then look for that entry with a stop below here. Okay, if we do get below here, I wouldn't chase shorts. Not just yet. Okay, I'd want to see it move down, come up and test the break of the alligator, something like it did here, before chasing a short. Okay, for me at the moment, there's still too much confusion here to be looking for shorts, and the bigger trend has been up. Last thing I want to do is just quickly go across to the ichimoku. Not really looking for the hour, but the hour will give you a fairly good indication at the moment. So you can see Chiku span, the brown line is through price. Okay, we've had a crossover of Kijun Tegensen, but the cloud is still red. So I would expect a pullback looking at the hour, at least to there, alternatively there. Okay, so what I'm doing is I'm pulling sort of the flat cloud here. Okay, there's also some swing highs, and then also I'm looking at Tekenson, the blue line here. Okay, if I look at the 4 hour, trend is pretty much, it's still up, but we do have this Tekenson bearish crossover, and we also got an oscillator that is saying we're going to pull back. Okay, so if the pullback does happen, then what you're looking at is something like that. So it goes back to the gap close. Boom. Because that's my upside target up there. Okay, so bit of a shaky ground. If you look at the daily, we broke through the cloud. We haven't really had a retest of the cloud. So, looking at the bigger time frame, I'm actually looking for a pullback. I would actually take it back to that gap, possibly even that gap. Okay, so when you see Kijinson and Tekinson so far apart on a daily like this, it's risky to take a long at the top here. Okay, that's why I'm saying whatever long you do take, if the long is on, it's there, but you're going with a trend, just be wary that most of the indicators are telling us that we should be expecting some kind of a pullback or consolidation. Okay, so just be wary of that. But I still wouldn't chase shorts, not until I've got a confirmation. Okay, and the confirmation on the daily is very difficult to call at the moment. You're going to have to look at it at a lower time frame and take it from there. Okay, so anyway, guys, that's it for me today. I'm looking for longs, definitely, and more than likely looking to get back up to the 12,455 area before we start looking to see what happens, and maybe taking a small little nibble at a short bit. I think for now it's longs. Okay, anyway, guys, that's it for me today. Hope it helps, and I'll catch you later. Cheers for now.